Welcome to the Industry Angel Podcast. We hear from the best business minds across the globe, entrepreneurs, social influencers, marketing mavens, and sales rock stars. We've got them all. Here comes your weekly dose of inspiration with your host, Ian Farrar.
Merry Christmas 2020. That sounds crazy saying that. Is it merry? Of course it's merry. Of course it is, Ian. You know, it doesn't seem like 12 months ago since I was holding this microphone and saying Merry Christmas to you. So I decided to listen back to that episode from last year, number 145. Wow, I sounded flat. And you know what it is? I was going through a rough time personally, and I hid quite a lot of that from you guys, but I had no idea how rough it would get for me and for you. A total blindside, wasn't it? And now what? Well, we still aren't out of the woods yet. I fully expect us to get back into some stricter lockdowns in the UK next year. We've hardly seen our friends and families and partners, kids, colleagues, clients. Everything has been affected. It's been so hard to see from afar. Quite often you guys, connect with me on social and be watching what you're doing and the impact it's had on some of your amazing businesses, especially in the hospitality industry and entertainment. It's been tough, and I've tried to do what I can to stay positive. I've navigated the confusing waters of seeing friends and family. I've tried to take a pragmatic approach to that. And surprisingly, I feel a lot better than I thought I would. I feel okay. Maybe I've adapted and now this is the way it is. And that feels selfish saying that, because I know some of you listening would have lost loved ones, maybe been ill yourself, and felt the business and financial effects of COVID. And for that, I'm sorry. And, I wish you all well. But it's tough because quite often there's literally nothing we can do about it, is it? Everything I've tried to do, I can't control. I've just tried to do everything I can to control the things I can. If you know what I mean. My business, Far North, has embraced a lot of online training now and delivery. We've had to, dare I say, pivot. We've heard that dreaded word quite a lot, but we've had to do what we can. And we can't change what it is. We just have to adapt. And actually, we've won some fantastic tenders and worked with some amazing clients. We've worked super hard though, we haven't shirked. We've worked really, really hard. And now it's a time to recharge, and I'm going to make sure we do that. And yes, personally, I've had some real challenges. You might have seen on social media recently that I asked for help. I put my hand up, and I've had some life-changing coaching, and I've embraced anything I could to feel more at ease with life. Meditation, Reiki, continuing to exercise daily. I've just tried everything I can, and I feel I've got a lot to be thankful for. And us, we've had some memorable times together this year, haven't we? We remember those epic live streams we did and how we adapted live. We've took to the live streaming quite a lot now in addition to the audio. We hit 200 episodes recently. So I'm taking the positives, and we'll get there. And I know it's hard to plan for 2021, but I'd like to encourage you to take some time to do that. And I know every year I talk about goals and I try to inspire you to say, think about goal setting. But I think there's been a lot of trend in the past to set these big, hairy, audacious goals. This BHAG, it's a term coined by Jim Collins and Jeffrey Porras in their book. I think it's Built to Last, Successful Habits of Visionary Companies, I think it is. And this BHAG, it's like a long-term goal, defined by your company's goals and values and purpose, that kind of thing. And you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say screw those big goals. And I'm going to say screw giving yourself 10 goals for the year, or 5 goals, or 12 goals, i.e. one a month. I'm going to say let's go all in. Let's go all in this year, 101, 101 goals. And let's group them into sections, It could be family, personal, financial, career, travel, adventure, health and fitness, sporting, and maybe pick 10 per section. And then we can really tick off these smaller goals, can't we? We can learn new skills, I don't know, create a morning routine, eliminate bad habits, save money, start journaling. We've heard about that this year from our friend Richard. Spend less time online maybe. Eat healthier. I'm going to try and declutter a bit. Actually, I'm going to move house in the first quarter, and I'm going to try to be a bit more minimalist. I'm sick of stuff. I've started meditating again, and I don't know, little goals. They're achievable, aren't they? We can tick them all off. We can release those endorphins and get a sense of achievement. So screw them big goals. Let's pick lots of little ones so you've got some time over the holidays and have a think about them. Maybe they can bring you closer to your friends and family and partners, such as, I don't know, planning a weekly date night or a game with the kids. So I'm going to try to make my list, and I'm going to try and stay focused next year, because I'm going to have some major stuff happening to me, my business. So I need to stay positive, stay focused. And that's what I'd love for you to have a think about over this festive period. And I'd love you to stay in touch as well. You know, I love all your messages. You know, I read yesterday that there was a podcaster and then he was going to quit. It was on Twitter, and he's been podcasting for a long time. And he just got a bit sick of the way, you know, the bigger shows were beginning to dominate the Apple charts and things. And, you know, I've banged the drum about that before, and his listener numbers were decreasing. And I'm just thankful for your ears, you know. I don't really care about anybody else's community, if I'm honest. I don't want to look over the fence and, you know, compare listener numbers and stuff. I love what we do, and I love you listening to me. And I think we're changing lives, you know. You inspire me so much, and you send me little notes and stuff, and I love it when I get little, even just little tweets or little retweets or anything. But sometimes you send me lovely messages on likes of LinkedIn and things, and you just say, you know, thanks so much, or something's changed my life because of what someone said, or a guest or something. It's great, you know. So if you want to do me and Christmas, you know, just a nice service or a Christmas present, you know, you can tell a friend, you can write me a review. That works really well. Just drop me a message. My contact details should be in the show notes. If you scroll down, you should see them. So yeah, you know, do me a favor, get in touch. I love it when you tell me who you've enjoyed or what subjects you'd like to hear from, because we can make it happen for you. This is your show. I've always said that, haven't I? So then, enough from me. You know, let's hear from some friends of the show. So I'm going to wish you and your family a wonderful Christmas. Please take some time to recharge the batteries. I'm going to plan to do that because I know I've got a busy year next year. So I'm going to take some of my own advice. I'm going to spend some quality time with my family. I know you said friends and family, but we can't really do that. But, you know, we'll do it as much as we can. So you spend some quality time. Stay safe in this crazy time, please. You know, don't take any big risks. Just try and keep your head down and wear your mask and things like that to try and, you know, keep yourself safe and healthy, okay? I love you all, and I look forward to speaking with you in the new year. Okay then, first up, Shawn Anderson.
Hey Ian, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you, your team, and to your inspiring listeners. It is my privilege today to be here to be sending these wishes, not only for a great holiday season, but also for an amazing 2021. Wow, we have so much to make up for 2020. What do you say? That we carry those dreams, those hopes, and that awesome, passionate, positive, purposeful energy into 2021. And let's create the very most inspiring, difference-making year yet. Again, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Thank you for being a kindred spirit and going the extra mile. And may 2021 be your best year ever.
Hey everybody, I have to tell you, I love participating in anything that Ian does. And when he reached out to me for this again this year, I thought, you know, positivity, looking forward to 2021. And I gotta tell you, my blog is called Straight Talk. I tend to tell it like it is. And here's what I want to share with you. Lower your expectations for 2021. This is not just going to all be over as soon as the new year kicks in. It's not going to be over as soon as the vaccine starts getting distributed. It's going to take many months. In all likelihood, we will be experiencing a lot of what we're experiencing now straight through the end of 2021. So what I'm doing is I'm thinking of how can I make the best of it the way I have been so far this year. For me, be good to people is about, again, telling like it is, sharing, supporting people in the best way you know. So what am I doing? I'm working out now more than ever. A great thing I've done during this COVID is reading. I'm educating myself. I'm learning. I'm learning about racism, white supremacy, white fragility. I'm learning about the Middle East. I'm learning about our government. I'm learning about our past. I'm reading books that are filling my head with things I want to know more about. Why? So I can be not only more effective now in sharing my message, but especially more effective when I can get out and shake your hand again, when I can get out and give you a hug again. But I just want to warn everybody. I hear so many people saying, oh my God, 2021 is going to be the greatest year. It's going to be more of the same. Prepare yourself for that. Set your expectations. Look, I've had a lot of letdowns in my life. I still fight to keep my daughters in my life. I change my expectations. I take the little gains. I work on little things moving me forward. I don't make huge expectations, but I settle myself for things that make me feel better. So, like I said, educating and learning, staying fit, eating healthy, helping as many people as I can, because there's another thing you can do. There's a lot of people out there that are a lot worse off than we are. Try to see what you can do to make their lives better. Is there a charity you can donate to? Is there a food bank you can go and help out or bring food to? If you don't have money, maybe you can give up your time in some way that doesn't put you at risk. So please, remember, it's gonna be another year similar to what we have now, although here's the positive note. We learned how to deal with it better. We know things we can do to make it better for us. And most importantly, this time around, there's light at the end of the tunnel. We know that day is coming. We're heading towards it. So get ready. And also, prepare yourself for the fact that you are going to have to earn a living maybe a little different than you did before. Or if you're still making a great living, or maybe you're even doing better, you're going to have to think more about sharing and helping others. I love you all. Be good to people. Keep a positive aspect on. Set your expectations in the right way. And have a happy, healthy, and I hope for all of you a prosperous new year.
Well, Merry Christmas, everybody. Simon Raybould here from Presentation Genius. It's been a hell of a year. Let's hope next year is better. And one of the ways I'm hoping to make it better is by relaunching my Reluctant Storyteller program. For all of you people who've been locked away in Zoom land this year and you've realized that stories are the way forward in your presentations, but you're not quite sure how to do it, that launches in February. Hit me up and go to reluctant.presentationgenius.info. Okay, advert over. Let's do the useful stuff. Something that you might want to think about here is when you use stories in your presentations, it's important that you remember that you give your point and then your stories support that point. Because what so many people do in their presentations is tell a story and then slick the point in at the end. It just doesn't work to the audience. It feels egocentric. So remember, point, story, and support. That's it. Have a fantastic, fantastic Christmas, everybody. I will see you on the other side. Stay safe. God bless.
Well, joy of joys, Mr. Ian Farrar. In just a few minutes, I'm going to teach you how to play this Christmas Day for you and your family and all of your listeners, how to play Okey, Pokey. Now, Okey Pokey is a game that's been played in the Robinson family for generations, many generations. And my family don't believe me that I believe it is and originated as a Hull game. In fact, I've never found anybody, apart from people in Hull, that play Okey Pokey. But this year will be different because you and your friends and all your listeners will be playing it, so that's great. And first of all, I need to tell you what you need. And I've got in front of me a rolled up newspaper with an elastic band around it, and that is what you do use for a poking. Poking is an important part of the game, and it is best to have paper rather than, for example, Auntie Ethel's walking stick, which could do an awful lot of damage. So stick with a rolled up newspaper. And secondly, I've got a blindfold. This one's a black silk blindfold, and that is for it. That's the person who's doing the poking, so that they can't see what they're doing. And they stumble around and, well, they poke with the rolled-up newspaper. And Alexa did say to me that did I want a black silk whip to go with that, and what would I do with that? It's not necessary for the game. So there we are. And you need friends and family. As many as possible, really, to make it a good game. And they will be sitting around in a circle on bean bags, on crates of wine, or whatever you have in your household. Chairs, of course. Chairs and sofas, that kind of thing. So that's all you need for the game, and basically what happens is that one of the friends and family goes into the middle of the circle, and you put the blindfold on them, and once the blindfold's on them, then the rest of the friends and family move around different chairs and beanbags and wine crates and whatever they're sitting on into different positions in the room, and then you let it among them, basically, and starts trying to poke flesh. But, there are devious people out there, and they'll use cushions and various things so that you're not poking flesh. But you stumble around the room, and when you think you're poking flesh, you go, Okey. And the recipient, the person that's been poked, goes, Pokey, or Pokey, or Pokey, or Pokey. In other words, they'll disguise their voice when they go Pokey, so that you don't know who it is. But when you eventually find somebody that you do recognise the voice, you say, oh, that's Uncle John or Auntie Madge or whoever you think it is, and if it is, then they become it, and the game continues onwards. It can go on for hours and hours and hours, and there's going to be a lot of poking going on. So I didn't ever like the fact that it went on for hours and hours and hours, and it ruined my Christmas for many Christmases, until my cousin Colin, who was a couple of years older than me, actually said to me, have you noticed that Grandma Rob never actually moves? And the other thing is, she was in the corner, because I've got no spatial awareness, because I'm dyspraxic. And so I knew if I went along the wall to the corner, there would be Grandma Rob. Of course, I didn't let on that I knew that, so therefore I'd do a lot of poking. And going, Okey, and she'd go, Pokey, and I'd keep poking, and she'd go, Okey, and I'd Pokey, and we'd be Okey poking forever. And then I'd eventually say, it's Grandma Rob. And of course it was. And the great thing about it was, and this is how devious my cousin Colin was, Grandma Rob would always refuse to be it. And so, but she was born idle, you see. She wasn't disabled or anything else. She moved. She just never moved from in the corner. And so she wouldn't play. And the game disintegrated, and I could get to playing with my toys and Christmas toys. And there is a moral to this story, which is for 2021, don't stumble around in the dark. Ask for help for someone who will actually help you in 2021. Do what you love and are good at, and then you'll have a very happy time. So there we are. That's how to play Okey Pokey. Enjoy.
Hello, I'm Gillian Fortune from Feel Good CIC. I am a no-nonsense stress buster. I teach people how to tackle the stresses and challenges of life, work and difficult people. And I am here to tell you about my 2020. And basically, I sat here on the 12th of March with my head in my hands in front of my computer and thought, that's it, I'm done. I'm a face-to-face trainer, never used Zoom, didn't have a clue, I'm finished. Anyway, I sat there for a little while and then gave me head a shake, used all of my stress-busting techniques and decided to put up or shut up. So I learned how to Zoom, I learned to do lots of things, I changed everything that I do, and that is when me as a no-nonsense stress buster was born. I now deliver 60-minute online stress busting sessions to the workforce, and it's been utterly amazing. 2020 has been the making of me when it comes to who I am, what I do and how I do it. And in September, I started to teach NHS staff online on Teams. Another nightmare, but I got past that. And now I've got more and more training booked to deliver stress busting to the NHS. How brilliant is that? But you know what? It was all about sitting there and initially thinking I can't. And then I thought, you can. And so I did. And my 2020 has honestly been an amazing journey. Now it's suited me and I'm happy working from home. And in all honesty, 2021 is going to be excellent because I shall make it so. So I hope everyone else has a brilliant 2021. So Thanks, Ian, for asking me to do this video. Take care. Bye.
Hello out there, angels. Mychael Anderson here, and I just wanted to talk about how important last year and this coming year is for leaders. And although it's massively important because there are such difficult things that we need to get through as a society, as a world, as a nation, all these other different things, and leaders are being called to lead that. By definition, when we take a leadership role, we have this responsibility. Just remember, by you showing up calmly and strongly and believing in yourself and others, that's really 90% of the game. So I know for myself and a lot of other leaders, we put all this pressure on ourselves to be perfect, to know it all. But you know what? That's not what people are looking for in crises, and that's not what people are going to be looking for in the next year. The fact is, we just want you to show up authentically and powerfully. And what do I mean by that? I mean, you really want to come with the optimism. People are looking to you for hope, and people are looking to you for a way out. And when I talk about a way out, you don't have to know all the details. You just have to give them a direction, and you just have to give them sort of like a locomotive engine, like a train engine for them to hook their boxcars up to. That's what I mean by taking yourself off the hook for having to know it all. And then when you get a bunch of people that are motivated and inspired, moving in the same direction, all of you as a group will figure that out together. And it's also okay for you to go through your own ups and downs, because I do it myself. Everybody I know does it yourself. And so that's normal. That's part of being human. Though having a great podcast like Ian produces for all of us, having a group of peers is amazing for all of us. Those are people that you can rely on when you're feeling down to bring you up. And we all have these in our lives. And these normally aren't employees. Sometimes they may or may not be people in our family. But so many times we have friends, but maybe we don't reach out to them when we need them. Be that person that reaches out. Be that person that reaches out when you're low. Be that person that other people can reach out. Or if your intuition's telling you one of your friends is going through a tough time, make it a point to call them more often. Get together for a drink or a walk. Walks are great, even in the crazy weather, and just be that person for them. And when you be that person for yourself, and again, remember, as we're going through all this stuff, take some self-care. Don't feel guilty. You might even put a recurring meeting in for every Monday into your calendar. And then this task, I'm going to remind you, first thing in this Monday is look at the coming week. Take anything you can off of your plate, off of your calendar, off of your to-dos, because oftentimes we put things on that we really don't need to follow through with, especially if we're under a lot of pressure. And then put in some time for maybe a walk, to call a friend, for maybe go to the spa, get a massage, whatever it is. Don't forget to take care of yourself so you can be strong for everybody else. All right, everybody, this is Mychael Anderson, hopefully giving you some inspirational upliftment. I also want to let you know that I've just come out with my new book, Leading in the Next Normal. And if you're interested in this, this is about a guide, a handbook for leading virtual teams, becoming the best leader you can, managing all this change. And it has the results of a survey. It has my experience in there as somebody who teaches leaders at Uber, Microsoft, Salesforce, etc. And so if you are looking for a resource, it's leadinginthenextnormal.com. It'll take you to the book, and hopefully that makes your leadership life a little bit easier, a little bit better for both you and the people you serve.
Well, hello there. Thank you very much for the invitation to join the Christmas special. My name is Pascal Fintoni, and I'm talking to you from my improvised home studio, pretty much my spare bedroom, which has been, the mark of this year, making do with what we've got around us. So, super pleased to be invited to talk to you on that Christmas special, by realizing that how is that a Christmas special when we are doing all the work, all of us, for Ian Farrar? What a smart guy, very charming guy as well. I'm sure you'll agree. So I wanted to kind of leave you with a Christmas message, wishing you the very, very best, and making sure that you take the time out for self-care. We've all been working very hard. We've all had to handle and wrestle with emotions, highs and lows in our in this year. And for me, one lesson that I'm taking away from 2020, knowing that at least the first half of 2021 would remain a challenge, the lesson I've taken away is that I can have more control than I believed and understood about my own happiness and well-being. What I mean to say is that when things were going well and I was much, much busier, I almost found this way of defining success and what made me feel good by essentially the number of invoices I could send and the number of the quality of the feedback I was getting for my work. And obviously 2020 has been a much, much quieter year. Some weeks I had hardly any bookings or any work as a consultant and trainer. And I had to find ways to fill the time so that I didn't feel like I was just meandering or getting into some form of dark thoughts and feeling quite low. What I discovered was really the power of conversations. So some of you will know that I launched quite a few new video series and Q&A series. I wasn't as bold or as mad as our host Ian Farrar by going online for 12 hours. I didn't do that. I need to eat too much as a French guy. But certainly I launched quite a few Q&A form video series, and those conversations have been like an antidote to everything that was happening around me. And at first, frankly, my intention was only to help somebody else have a better day, make them smile was kind of my mantra through the different video series, interviewing people who were in lockdown, different part of the world. That was kind of March, April, then talking to other consultants and content marketers, but also talking to podcasters and videographers and so on, and just being in conversation with them. And honestly, the impact on me was quite significant. And I realized that therefore there is a form of marketing, which is what I specialize in, that can be good for business, but also good for you. The other thing that I realized is that this conversation you're having is also important to somebody else. Which I think is part of my message, if I may humbly to all of you listening today. This idea of conversations that have an impact to one more person, and that maybe is just enough. Part of what I learned as well is keeping in touch with my family has been tricky. I mean, yes, we did Zoom, Messenger, and so on, but my parents were using an archaic mobile phone, and eventually I couldn't bear it anymore. I used to spend most of my time talking to the ceiling or talking to the floor, either we kind of trying to handle the different camera settings. So with my siblings, we pulled together a bit of money and we bought them the Facebook portal. So all they had to do was to click on a button and then get in touch with us. And again, the impact on my parents being able to talk to me almost daily and the way which that cheered them up was really a reminder that we do better when we talk to each other. And of course, the tendency would have been to sometime just try and work things out on your own, or to kind of stay where you are and just be yourself with your own thoughts. And I've learned that, once again, those conversations are very important. So with that in mind, since Ian did say that I could, I want to invite any of you listening today who enjoy conversations and the impact they can have on others to join me next year on season 3 of the Content Marketing Studio. Get in touch, Pascal Fintoni, just Google that name and be able to find me, and we'll make sure that 2021 is a positive experience for everybody. So once again, big thank you to Ian and his team for, again, making 2020 a much more enjoyable and bearable year. And yes, I hope, Ian, that you're happy that we are doing all the hard work for you for this Christmas special. All right then, bye for now.
Hi, it's Nicola from Mint Business Club here, and I'm going to keep it short and sweet. If you're watching this, and if you've made it to this point in the year and your business is still there, your small business which you're so passionate about, congratulations. What a year it's been. Some of us have floundered, some of us have flourished, maybe we've had a mix of both. I think it's every one of us have questioned what we're doing, why are we doing it, why do we run this business that we do? But the point is, congratulations. If you're here still watching this and your business has survived, then guess what? It's nearly finished. The year's nearly finished. 2021 is going to be so different. And please take time to reflect. Reflect on how well you've done. Just getting here is an amazing thing. Okay? Like, we can't unlearn the stuff we've learned this year, which is a really cool thing. Because everything that you've done that has produced that positive outcome, we take forward that knowledge. We know who we are. We're stronger because of it. We take forward that knowledge and we just leave behind all of the other rubbish. So here's to 2021. Honestly, I can't wait. Like everybody, we're all absolutely blooming shattered, but we can't wait for next year. If you want to know a little bit about Mint Business Club, then come along to our free taster on January the 15th. It's about an hour and a half and you work on your business. You work on your business to set up your vision for 2021. It's going to be a masterminding session. It'll be Mint. But thank you, Ian. Thank you for involving me back in whenever it was, however many months ago, when you were doing all of those epic lives. Thank you to everybody who's in our business community and everybody I know that might be watching. It has been a hell of a journey. Congratulations on getting here. Stay safe. Let's be really excited for next year. It'll still be tough, but it's not going to be this year. And that's part of it, isn't it? That's part of what we do, running a business, how we are, who we are, why we do it. It's ups and those downs. So I'll see you in 2021. Have a wonderful Christmas. Have a blast of a new year, as different as it's going to be. And let's just put it behind us and crack on, and be very, very minty-tastic all the way through 2021. Take care. Bye.
Hello, Ian, and anybody else who might be watching. Here's a little summary of my 2020 and how I'm looking towards 2021. The main thing is for me to simplify, I think. There are three things. They all begin with S, so I'm going to tell you what they are. But the first one is simplify. This year I overcomplicated things, as I often do, just made things more difficult than they needed to be. So I'm going to simplify down, do fewer things better, because I think I tried to do too many things and ended up doing some things well and some things not so well. The other S, which is going to help me to learn in 2021, is space, because this year a lot of space was created for us, and I'm glad that I did some good things in that space, but the big question for me was, why didn't I create the space before now? I mean, COVID created the space for us, so I acted and did things I honestly never would have done if COVID hadn't created the space for me, and maybe for you as well. So I'm going to try and create more space just to see what happens in that space and make sure I invest time in trying to do good things in 2021 in the space I've created. And finally, I'm going to try and sleep better and more, because the worry of this year, I didn't feel too worried in myself actually, but I think it manifested in I just slept less or less well. So the three things that are going to be important for me in 2021 are simplification, so do less, so you do fewer things and do them better. Create the space to do really great things. I don't know what, but I think you have to create the space before the great things happen. I think that's the important thing. And finally, to sleep more soundly. I hope that some nice things happen for you too in 2021. Merry Christmas.